In this episode, I want to tap into the recent headline news and share some lessons learned from the tragic death of Charlie Kirk. Ready to rethink your leadership style based on some compelling realities? Let's get into it.
Welcome to Why Business Teams Fail and How to Avoid It, a show helping small business owners build a radically engaged team that can run the business without you so you can remove the stress from owning a business and enjoy the freedom you deserve. Now, here's your host, Rich Allen.
Today you'll learn that behind the recent tragic headlines, there are several lessons learned that are worth considering. That being a leader is about growing other leaders more than it is about generating followers. And that regardless of your political leanings, as a business owner, we must step up and become better leaders. Here's my question for you this week. What leadership lessons should you learn from Charlie Kirk? This week, I want to weigh in on the topic that's captivated and disturbed the world for these past few weeks, the political assassination of Charlie Kirk. As a strong Christian, a husband, a father, a grandfather, and a proud American, this tragedy has had a profound impact on me and my family, as I'm sure it has on you and yours as well. It's not only sad, but disturbing that there are people in our society who believe that having an open debate on issues that we face every day in today's culture must be stopped by any and all means, even if it means the assassination of those who are willing to engage in peaceful dialogue. It's scary to think that we're raising children and grandchildren who must grow up in a world and a country where they're not safe. I'll continue to pray for Charlie Kirk's family, especially his wife and young children, and those who will keep his legacy alive. It's clear that his assassination was not the end of the story, but rather the beginning of a revolution. I could go on, but that's not why I wanted to bring up this topic today. The primary reason I wanted to talk about Charlie Kirk today was to share a few lessons learned that we as business owners should take from Charlie as we learn more about the organization and movement that he had built and was building before his tragic death. I'll leave the political analysis to those who enjoy debating politics. I'd rather look at how Charlie acted and behaved as a leader and explore how those who are leaders in business and organizations can learn from someone who was hugely gifted and successful. I know it seems a bit odd that we can learn from a 31-year-old kid, but in the case of Charlie Kirk, he was more talented, more insightful, and more of a leader than most of us could ever dream to be. How do I know that? Just look at his business track record. He didn't go to college, but rather chose to be an entrepreneur starting at the age of 16. He co-founded Turning Point USA and became its executive director. He grew his organization from a startup to over 300 employees, serving over 750,000 grassroots activists on college and high school campuses. He wrote and published several books and hosted a very popular talk radio show. He was a powerful and sought-after speaker, and he had millions of social media followers. I could go on, but let's just agree that he accomplished more in his short life than most of us could ever dream to accomplish in our lifetimes. So perhaps we should take time to reflect on how he accomplished such amazing results and see if there are any lessons learned we could apply to our role as leaders in our businesses. I've been thinking about this, and I wanted to share 6 specific lessons that I believe are worthy of your consideration. Lesson number 1 is to show up positive every day. One of the notable trademarks of Charlie Kirk's demeanor was that he was always upbeat and positive. Even when he was facing extreme opposition, even when it appeared he was outnumbered or in the minority, even when the odds were against him. He walked around with a smile on his face and greeted even those who hated him, his mission, and his beliefs with a welcoming smile. Imagine if that was how you showed up every day, with a smile on your face and optimistic about what was possible. How would the demeanor of those around you change? How likely would they adopt your same attitude and approach? I believe this was one of the secrets to Charlie's success. He woke up every day knowing he was wearing the armor of God and showed up knowing with certainty that it was going to be a good day. And no matter what, he made it a good day by being positive and upbeat, no matter the circumstance, no matter the conflict, no matter the headwind. As leaders, we need to show up positive every day, no exception. This one simple attitude adjustment will have a profound impact on how others around us behave with their teammates and with our customers. Lesson number 2 is to know your purpose and stay true to it. Charlie was on a mission to change how young people thought and acted, and he never forgot what his mission and purpose was. He woke up every day with the starfish mindset, that each day he was going to walk along the seashore and throw starfish that were washed up on the beach back into the sea, knowing that he couldn't save them all, but he was going to save as many as he could. He was not deterred by haters. He did not go home at night and question whether what he was doing was worth it. Yet I see business owners regularly question what they're doing, some regularly wondering whether they should throw in the towel or sell out while they can. Imagine how that makes others around you feel, watching and sensing that you're not 100% committed to the mission of the business. If you, as the business owner, are on the fence, why should anyone working for you be any more committed and determined to make a difference? And if you're doing something that doesn't make a difference, why are you spending your time doing it? If you're not going to be the best in your industry, why bother being in business? People want to be led by someone who knows their mission and purpose and has sold out to make a difference in what they do. Is that you? If not, perhaps it's time to reconsider what you're doing. Know your purpose, live out your purpose, and stay true to your purpose. It's a powerful lesson we can all learn from Charlie. Lesson number 3 is surround yourself with like-minded people. One of the most striking lessons I've noticed from Charlie's untimely death is that everyone who was even remotely associated with Charlie was 100% in alignment with his mission, his purpose, and his beliefs. And I believe the reason the world is going to be radically changed as a result of his assassination is because he surrounded himself with like-minded people. They are also like-minded that they now feel the need, the sense of urgency, and the sense of dedication to his cause to step up and be like Charlie. This is something that's worth pondering for a minute. Is your team made up of people who are similarly like-minded and passionate about your mission? Do they want to be like you? If you're out of the office or gone on vacation, do they step up and care for your business the way you do? If not, perhaps you've not surrounded yourself with like-minded people. Like-minded people will have the same sense of urgency. They will see the world and their role in it as you do. They will want to make an impact just as you want to make an impact. In today's culture, we talk a lot about differences and diversity, and perhaps we have it a bit wrong. The differences and diversity that have value are not those of how we should approach our customers or how committed we are to the mission of the business or organization. Unless your team is in alignment and like-minded in the mission of your business, you'll have division and dysfunction. And when you're gone, even for a few hours or for a few days, there will be infighting and conflicts. Charlie proved that if you surround yourself with like-minded people, anything is possible. And when you're gone, Even if forever, your people will step up, rally around your purpose, and perhaps even change the world in honor of you. This is a lesson worth pondering for sure. Lesson number 4 is be bold and fearless in everything you do. The more you look at what Charlie did to make a difference and achieve his mission, you realize that he put himself in harm's way over and over again. He would intentionally go to places where his toughest critics were and invited them to engage with him. He was bold and fearless beyond anything that most of us could ever imagine. He knew that if he was going to make a difference and have a positive influence on his target audience, he needed to engage directly with them, even those who vehemently disagreed with them. Think about that relative to how you engage with your prospects and customers. Do you show up as bold and fearless, willing to share what you believe and know to be true about your industry, regardless of whether your audience is supportive or hostile? Most of us would simply shrink away, stay safe, and in our bubble of comfort. But that's not what makes those who support you respect and admire you. Those close to you want you to lead. They want to see your fire and passion and willingness to stand up for what you believe, even if it may be controversial or dangerous. That's what a true leader does. Is that what you do? Perhaps this is another lesson worth considering from Charlie's past. Lesson number 5 is adopt a prove me wrong approach to everything. I'll be honest to say that this lesson is perhaps the one most business owners could and should adopt right away. Charlie didn't engage with his team, his customers, or his prospects by declaring that he had all the answers and knew how everything should work. He had a very different approach. He invited everyone who he engaged with to bring their ideas, their thoughts, and their beliefs and share them openly in active dialogue and debate. Let's be honest, Charlie was a master debater, so he was very comfortable listening first and then challenging the way others thought. I particularly liked the way he would sit quietly, listen intently, without even picking up the microphone to respond. Only when the other person had finished making their point or stating their argument did he pick up the mic to respond. That's not the approach I see many business owners taking, even when the topic is less controversial. Far too many business owners have all the answers and come to their own conclusions before allowing others to weigh in. What if you adopted the prove me wrong approach by inviting and allowing others around you to share their perspective on any given situation before you come to a conclusion? Perhaps then those on your team would feel heard and appreciated. Perhaps you would learn something rather than limiting yourself to what you already think you know. Charlie was a master at allowing others to speak first. This is a lesson we could all learn from and adopt to be better leaders. And lastly, lesson number 6 is to grow leaders, not followers. As I think about this particular lesson more deeply, it may be that this is the result of the first 5 lessons rather than a lesson in itself. But no one could argue this point. Charlie was a master at growing other leaders. Even at age 31, Charlie knew what it meant to model leadership behaviors. The depth of his convictions, the passion for his mission, the clarity of his messages, the willingness to put himself on the front lines, and his confidence to allow others to speak first are all behaviors that every great leader should live out. Charlie knew he couldn't do everything himself, especially if he wanted to make a difference across the world. The only way for him to be successful was to grow leaders who could themselves engage, inspire, and energize their local followers. And as a result, his organization had an active presence on over 900 college campuses and 1,200 high school campuses. That's a lot of leaders. That's a lot of people sharing his passion, purpose, and mission. Imagine if you or I could grow leaders like Charlie did. Imagine the impact we'd have on our industry or in our trading area. So rather than simply employ people or have followers, what if we worked harder at the 5 lessons I outlined earlier with the goal of growing leaders who could replicate our work and grow our influence? Your impact would be awe-inspiring. Let's be more like Charlie and leave a legacy ourselves. As we wrap up today's podcast, let me leave you with these simple thoughts. Number 1, no matter how you feel about the politics of Charlie Kirk, it's hard to argue with the impact he had on those he engaged with. Number 2, as a business owner, there are lessons we should learn from Charlie's experience launching, growing, and sustaining the Turning Point USA organization. And number 3, if you want to leave a legacy, you've got to master the art of growing leaders. Otherwise, you'll wear down trying to run and grow your business on your own power. If you'd like some additional support in this area or want to tap into our free resources, simply go to my website, tourtoprofit.com. You'll find everything you need there. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure to tune in next week when we're going to discuss establishing a board of advisors for your business. You won't want to miss it. Now, go make it a great week, and whatever you do, ride hard.
Thank you for listening to Why Business Teams Fail and How to Avoid It. Make sure to like, subscribe, and tell your friends so you don't ever miss an episode. Now go make it a great week, and whatever you do, ride hard.